When I was a novice, our novice master really taught us about the spirituality Franciscan, of course, is a part of our spiritual mission. And every night, almost during feast day, we watch Life of the Saints movie. After the life of Saint Francis, then it's really very interesting about the poverty and also the simplicity. Then we watch also the movie of Saint Felix of Cantalice, because we were taught during weekend we have to roam around the city with a plastic bag, ask different markets some foods. Not unlike here that every time, thanks be to God for divine providence, there in the Philippines we have to ask the market, 1 kilo or 1 pound or 2 pounds of fish, vegetable, all together. We put in one sack. That's our life. Then I wonder, my mother, since we have a little bit, not supermarket, not a store with different vegetable and fruit, that my novice master said, don't pass your store, You have to go to another, because otherwise my parents give a lot vegetable, fish. Yeah, that's a life of being a Franciscans. And it was the most example for that is Saint Felix of Cantalice. Saint Felix was born of peasant parents at Cantalice, Apulia, Italy. He was a shepherd, a farm laborer in his youth. Accordingly, he worked herding his parents' cows in the field and used the solitude and silence of what worked for prayer. When he was 12, he was hired to work for a wealthy landowner. He thought himself meditative prayer that he could sustain even his manual labor. That's very, very important, especially during his work, since quite hard to work in the farm. But there is a spontaneous prayer, which his parents, especially her mother, taught him how to pray, spontaneous. Then also he reflected often upon the suffering and death of Jesus while plowing the field, while especially in the mountain. It's quite difficult. It's really my divine providence. Many times I visited, I like that place, Until now, it's very simple. The place of Cantalice is very, not really what we thought. Some, like the Padre Pio's place, that is really a lot of business, a lot of people, pilgrims, and also it's really developed, where the village where St. Felix Cantalice is very simple. It's still the mountain, and that we can imagine St. Felix Cantalice was plowing the field and also for his giving food for the animals. And this is really the simplicity of St. Felix Cantalice. And of course, his prayer and also his meditation, especially the suffering and death of Jesus, and remain ever cheerful and humble. He prayed for those who insulted him. He never argued. He never justified, because of course his simplicity, but he prayed for those who insulted him. As he grew, he wondered what God might be calling him to do with his life. One day, as he was plowing a field, something spoke the oxen with which he was working. He tried to hold him back and fell below them. He was trampled, and the plow passed over his body. Miraculously, he got up without injury. That's a divine providence, no? Or, as what the gospel today, God really provide, if really for the good of the soul, and that's also the way that Saint Felix Cantalice reflected, because quite busy to provide the food for his family, to help among his siblings, but this time he reflected his personal life with relation with Jesus. And that accident, and miraculously, he answered what the Lord wants in his life. In gratitude for his safety, he immediately entered a Capuchin monastery. As a monk, there he doubled his penances and mortification. Though he considered everyone in the monastery more holy than he, they all referred to him as the saint. When he was 35, he was sent to Rome, where he spent the rest of his life begging for food and money for the community of monks and for the other poor people. Can you imagine in Rome, eternal city? They call Rome an eternal city because a lot of foreigners, languages, but these simple friars, the poor friars, begging bread in different store, not also for the personal needs of the friars, which the convent is very big and has a lot of friars who live there, and also give those street children. And that's also the way that he met Saint Philip Neri, because Saint Philip Neri, those who are little children, abandoned children, Saint Philip Neri, the one who gathered and give the recreation, but not playing, but more on reading, praying, and also, of course, the practice of charity. And both of them, Saint Philip Neri and Saint Felix Cantalice, are friends, helping together. For the formation, since Saint Felix did not finish his study, Saint Philip Neri, as a priest, he gave some permission. And for the food, preparing all the snacks, it was Saint Felix Cantalice. Both of them are friends and also became a saint. No? That's the life of Saint Felix Cantalice. It was difficult work, full of discomfort and humiliation. But he went about it with a characteristics prayerfulness. Saint Felix died when he was 72 from an illness and received a vision of Mary on his deathbed. That's really the promise of Our Lady. That's why the sanctuary, the church basilica of Saint Philip Neri is the Immaculate Conception, near in Vatican, more or less, And it's really a lot of pilgrims, because of his body is still incorrupt, and also some miracles. There are a lot of miracles. These humble and poor friars intercede for those who are sick, for those who are really in need, the help coming from our Lord. Because the Lord, according to the gospel, or take the lilies, they do not spin, they do not weave, but I tell you, Solomon in all his splendor was not arrayed like any one of them. The divine providence coming from our Lord. And it was really an instrument of God by the simplicity and generosity of Saint Felix in order to provide the food, those who are abandoned homeless, those who are abound still children, and not only for the food, and also for his good example and devotion to Our Lady. Let us ask the intercession of Saint Felix Neri, and also he was a friend of Saint Philip, and he was helped by Saint Charles Borromeo. 3 saints, Saint Philip Neri, and helped in St. Charles Borromeo, revision of the roll of his oblates, and Felix was canonized in 1709. His feast day is May 18. That today, his feast day, we ask his intercession to become a saint. Praise be to Jesus and Mary.